In the heart of a quaint village, shrouded in the whispers of ancient legends, the air was thick with tales of the supernatural. The villagers, with their quiet lives and simple routines, often spoke of a peculiar presence that lingered at the edge of the forest, just beyond the village boundary. It was said that as night descended, a little ghost roamed freely, playful yet mysterious. A curious young girl named Maya, known for her adventurous spirit and vivid imagination, often dreamt of meeting the ghost. One evening, as the silver moonlight bathed the village in a soft glow, Maya decided to venture into the forest. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and excitement as she walked along the narrow path, the trees whispering secrets of old. Suddenly, Maya heard a soft giggle like the tinkling of bells in the wind. The sound seemed to circle her, light and carefree. "Maya, who's there?" she called out, her voice steady despite the chill creeping up her spine. To her surprise, a small figure emerged from the shadows, a translucent, childlike ghost with a mischievous glint in its eyes. Maya was captivated by the ghost's presence, its form shimmering like a mirage. "I'm Ravi," the ghost introduced itself, floating closer with an ethereal grace. "Maya, I've heard about you," she replied, her initial fear melting into fascination. Ravi chuckled, a sound as light as the wind.
I just like to play.
It said. Maya and Ravi spent the evening sharing stories and laughter, forming an unlikely friendship under the watchful eyes of the stars. As days turned into weeks, Maya discovered that Ravi was more than just a playful spirit. Ravi had once been a boy from the village, lost to time and legend. "Maya, why do you stay here?" she asked one night, the two sitting on a fallen log.
I think I'm waiting for something.
Ravi mused, its voice tinged with a hint of sadness. Maya knew their time together was drawing to a close. Ravi had found the peace it unknowingly sought through their friendship. On their last night together, Maya promised to keep the spirit of their adventures alive within the village, sharing Ravi's story not as a ghostly legend, but as a tale of friendship. As the first rays of dawn kissed the earth, Ravi faded into the morning mist, leaving behind a whisper of laughter that would echo in Maya's heart for.
On a moonlit night, a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves as the silvery glow of the full moon bathed the lonely hilltop. Ethan, a young boy with dreams as vast as the night sky, sat beneath an ancient oak tree, gazing up at the celestial wonder above him. His heart felt heavy, burdened by thoughts that seemed too large for his small frame to carry.
Why am I not rich like the other?
He whispered to the moon, hoping it would answer back. The stars twinkled in response, casting a serene silence that enveloped the hillside. Ethan closed his eyes, recalling the stories his grandmother used to tell him about the moon being a faithful listener to those who felt alone. His mind wandered to images of grand homes and lavish toys, things he often saw his classmates flaunt. But amidst these thoughts, a gentle voice echoed in his memory. "Richness is not about what you have, but about how you feel inside," his grandmother had said. As he opened his eyes, a soft rustling nearby caught his attention. A firefly danced in the air, its tiny light flickering like a warm glow amidst the cool night. Ethan watched in awe, reminded of the simple joys life offered.
Perhaps
He pondered aloud.
being rich means appreciating these little things.
The firefly seemed to agree, circling him before disappearing into the night. The crickets began their symphony, filling the air with a melody that soothed his troubled heart. Ethan stood up, feeling a newfound connection to the world around him. He walked along the moonlit path, each step lighter than the last.
I may not have everything I want,
He said.
but I have what I need to be happy.
The realization was like a balm, easing his earlier sorrow. As dawn approached, the horizon brightened with hues of orange and pink, signaling a new day. Ethan felt an uplifting sense of hope wash over him. The world seemed different, more vibrant, as if the night's conversation with the moon had changed something within him. He smiled to himself, his spirit joyful and his heart light. The sunrise cast a golden glow over the peaceful hilltop, where Ethan stood with a contented heart. He realized that true richness lay in moments of love, laughter, and the beauty of the world around him. With a grateful glance at the retreating moon, he whispered,
Thank you.
before heading home, ready to embrace the day with a renewed spirit. The adventurous Leo wandered deeper into the woods behind his house, his heart filled with the thrill of discovery. The air was fresh, and the sounds of chirping birds accompanied his every step. As he pushed through the thick underbrush, his eyes widened at the sight of a small, intricately carved door nestled within an ancient oak tree. Leo crouched down, curiosity piqued by the sparkle. There, partially buried amid the vibrant green blades, lay a small, rusty key. His fingers tingled with excitement as he picked it up, pondering if it could unlock the mystical door he had just discovered. With a deep breath, Leo inserted the key into the lock. A soft click echoed, and the door swung open with a creak, revealing a breathtaking sight. Beyond lay a glowing, enchanted forest, a realm alive with shimmering lights and harmonious melodies that hung in the air like delicate threads of magic. As Leo stepped into the magical world, he was greeted by a chorus of friendly voices. The creatures of the forest, from graceful deer to mischievous foxes, each had a story to tell. The forest spirits, ethereal and kind, floated around him, welcoming him to their world.
Welcome, young explorer.
A wise owl hooted. Leo spent blissful hours with his new friends, learning about the ancient magic that protected their land. He marveled at the wonders of the forest, from the vibrant flora to the melodic streams. Each moment was a treasure, a secret world revealed only to him.
This place is amazing.
He whispered, his eyes wide with wonder. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Leo knew it was time to return home. Reluctantly, he stepped back through the door, feeling the cool air of the evening woods wrap around him. With a final glance at the magical forest, he closed the door, which disappeared seamlessly into the tree. Leo returned to his house, his heart full of stories and the promise of more adventures to come. The key was now his most cherished possession, a gateway to a world of wonder and excitement that lay hidden just beyond the ordinary. Whenever he felt the need for a touch of magic, he knew exactly where to find it. Pip, a curious little fox with a bright orange coat and a swishing tail, marveled at the evening sky. One star, glowing brighter than the rest, sparkled with rainbow colors.
I wonder where that star came from.
Thought Pip. His heart filled with excitement, he decided to find it. Pip scampered through the forest, eager to uncover the mystery of the lost star. Along the way, a wise old owl perched on a branch, her eyes gleaming with wisdom.
Where are you going, little one?
She asked.
I'm looking for the lost star that fell from the sky.
Pip replied.
Ah, the star you seek is not far from here. But you must be brave and kind, for the journey may not be easy.
With a nod of gratitude, Pip continued on. Pip encountered a gentle rabbit, who greeted him warmly. Hello, Pip. Where are you off to? She inquired.
I'm searching for the lost star that fell from the sky,
Said Pip. The rabbit smiled and offered a shiny pebble.
This will help guide you in the dark.
Taking the pebble with thanks, Pip pressed on, the pebble glowing brightly in his paw. Pip found the forest becoming darker, but the pebble's glow illuminated his path. He pushed forward, determined to find the lost star. The sounds of the forest seemed to encourage him, each step bringing him closer to his goal. Reaching the top of a tall hill, Pip discovered the lost star lying on the ground, its colors shimmering with magic. He gently picked it up, feeling its warmth in his paws.
Thank you for helping me find my way.
He whispered, watching in awe as the star's glow intensified. As the star floated back into the sky, Pip watched, his heart swelling with joy and wonder. The star found its place among the constellations, shining ever brighter.
The world is full of wonders.
Pip thought, realizing that helping others was the greatest adventure of all. With a joyful heart, he made his way back home, knowing the sky would always be a little brighter, a reminder of his kind-hearted journey.
Grinning, Peter Piper stretched his arms wide, grinning at the day that promised adventure. He grabbed his trusty wicker basket, ready to pick the biggest, juiciest peppers.
Today is going to be amazing,
He declared to the morning sky. Polly the parrot, with her eyes twinkling mischievously, landed gracefully on a nearby branch.
Peter, pick a pear instead.
She squawked, her voice echoing through the garden. Peter chuckled, shaking his head.
But I love peppers, Polly.
Peter stood in awe, his eyes widening at the sight of the shiny pears. Polly perched beside him, nodding knowingly.
All right, let's pick some pears.
Peter agreed, reaching up to pluck the ripe fruits. Penny the pig, with her round belly and playful eyes, looked up at Peter's basket.
Oink, what do you have there, Peter?
She asked eagerly.
Peppers and pears.
Peter replied, beaming. Peter, Polly, and Penny began mixing the peppers and pears in a large bowl. Polly added a sprinkle of salt with a flourish, while Penny stirred with her little hooves. Laughter filled the room as they worked together. Peter grinned, watching the villagers enjoy the pie that was the product of friendship and collaboration.
This is the best pie ever,
he exclaimed, sharing a slice with Polly and Penny. The night was filled with joy and the warmth of community, proving that the sweetest rewards come from sharing and together.
Landon, a curious young boy with a mop of curly hair, stood at the edge of the sidewalk, eyes wide with excitement. The streets were alive with the hum of engines and the chatter of people. It was a perfect day for an adventure. Landon watched as a cyclist pedaled past him.
Look, Mia, a bike.
He exclaimed to his best friend Mia, who was standing next to him, her braided hair bouncing as she nodded enthusiastically.
How many wheels does it have?
Mia asked, her voice filled with the same curiosity.
2 wheels.
Landon responded proudly, pointing at the bike as it disappeared around the corner. Landon then spotted a line of cars parked along the street.
And how many wheels do cars have?
Mia inquired, joining in the game.
4 wheels.
Landon declared, counting each tire with his finger. Mia clapped her hands.
You're getting really good at this.
The rumble of a big truck caught their attention next. Landon ran up to it, his eyes wide with awe.
This one is huge. How many wheels do you think it has?
Mia wondered aloud. Landon circled the truck, counting eagerly.
6 wheels. That's a lot more than the bike and car.
As the afternoon sun began to set, Landon and Mia sat on a park bench, tired but happy.
Counting wheels is fun, Mia.
Landon said, a satisfied smile on his face.
Yes, and it's a great way to learn numbers.
Mia added, her eyes twinkling with excitement for their next adventure.
Omer, with a grin spreading across his face, looks at his younger brother.
All right, Abdel-Rahman, we are about to shrink to microscopic size. Are you ready?
Abdel-Rahman, his face a mix of excitement and apprehension, hesitates.
Are we 100% sure this is safe?
Omer chuckles, pressing a flashing button.
Of course. Well, 99.9%. Let's find out.
In an instant, a bright flash. The room shakes as they shrink and find themselves inside a glowing red river, the bloodstream. Their micro-submarine appears and they eagerly jump inside. Abdel-Rahman peers out the window, eyes wide with wonder.
Whoa, this looks like a giant water park, but wait, what are those weird spiky things?
Omer checks the scanner, his eyes widening in realization.
Bacteria. And uh-oh, they're latching onto the blood vessel walls.
Suddenly, the bacteria release toxins. causing the vessel walls to inflame. Abdelrahman panics.
We need to get out of here, fast.
Just then, a massive white blood cell rushes in like a superhero, engulfing bacteria in a dramatic swoop. Omer watches in awe.
Whoa, the immune system is like an army protecting us.
Abdelrahman breathes a sigh of relief.
The lungs look so peaceful, no germs here.
But suddenly, tiny viruses latch onto healthy cells, injecting their genetic material. Infected cells turn green, multiplying rapidly. Omer points at the scanner.
The viruses are taking over the lung cells. That's how infections spread.
A wave of mucus surges forward, trapping the viruses in its sticky embrace. Abdelrahman realizes.
So that's why we cough when we're sick. The body is kicking the germs out.
Omer is excited.
Welcome to the stomach, the place where food meets its fate.
But suddenly, harmful bacteria like H. pylori burrow into the stomach lining. Abdelrahman worries.
Uh-oh, some bacteria can survive stomach acid. That's bad news.
The immune system responds. T cells swoop in, blasting bacteria with energy bursts. Omer grins.
It's like a sci-fi battle in here.
Abdelrahman is impressed.
Antibodies are tagging the viruses for destruction. That's teamwork.
Omer nods in agreement.
And the body fights better when we stay healthy.
Suddenly, fever mode activates. Everything turns red and heats up, a dramatic finale to their journey. Abdelrahman grabs his brother's arm.
Omer, we need to leave, now.
Omer and Abdelrahman step out of the micro-submarine, their eyes gleaming with newfound knowledge and excitement.
That was incredible,
exclaims Abdelrahman. Omer nods, his smile wide.
The human body is an amazing battlefield, and we got to see it all.
As they leave the lab, their minds buzz with the possibilities of their next adventure.
Olungi sat in the back row. Olungi sat in the back row, a mischievous grin playing on his lips. His laughter was a constant melody that echoed through the room, much to the annoyance of his classmates and teachers.
Why is everyone so serious?
He wondered aloud, snickering as he raised his middle finger playfully at a passing teacher. Olungiers had done it again, seeking attention in his usual disruptive manner. Miss Thompson, the math teacher, sighed heavily.
Olungiers, please step outside,
She instructed, trying to maintain her composure. Olungies leaned against the wall, his laughter fading as he stared at a poster about respect and kindness.
Why doesn't anyone get my jokes?
He muttered, kicking at the floor. Olungies watched groups of friends chatting and playing, his heart heavy with a loneliness he couldn't shake.
Maybe they're right.
He thought, tears welling up in his eyes.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Olungies picked up a book on empathy, flipping through its pages. Words like understanding and compassion jumped out at him, igniting a spark of self-awareness.
I can change,
he whispered, determination setting in.
I want to apologize.
He began, his voice steady.
I didn't realize how my actions affected everyone. I'm sorry.
The room was silent for a moment. Then Liam, a classmate, spoke up.
We appreciate that, Olungies,
he said, offering a small smile. Olungies joined in the conversation, his laughter no longer disruptive, but a part of the joyful harmony.
It's good to be part of the group,
he thought, feeling a warmth he hadn't known before.
Emma was a curious 10-year-old girl with a passion for science and exploration. She loved spending her afternoons in her backyard, tinkering with old gadgets and dreaming of inventing something extraordinary. Her parents often joked that she could fix anything, from broken clocks to squeaky doors. One sunny afternoon, while rummaging through the tall grass near the old wooden shed, Emma spotted something shiny. She crouched down and brushed away the dirt to reveal a tiny robot, no bigger than her hand. Its metallic body was scratched, and its round, glowing eyes flickered weakly.
Oh no, you're hurt,
Emma whispered, gently picking up the robot. She carefully carried it to her workbench, where she kept her tools and spare parts. Emma worked tirelessly, tightening screws, cleaning the robot's surface, and replacing a few broken parts. She even added a tiny antenna she had salvaged from an old radio. As she worked, she talked to the robot, telling it about her favorite inventions and her dreams of becoming a scientist. Finally, after hours of work, the robot's eyes glowed brightly, and it whirred to life.
Hello?
It said in a tiny, cheerful voice.
Thank you for fixing me.
Emma gasped in delight.
You can talk. I'm Emma. What's your name?
The robot tilted its head.
I don't remember, but I know I need your help. My mission is to spread kindness, but I'm missing some important parts.
Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement.
Don't worry, little guy. We'll find your missing parts together.
She grabbed her backpack, filled it with tools and snacks, and set off with the robot on an adventure. The robot explained that it had crash-landed in Emma's backyard after its spaceship malfunctioned. Its mission was to help people and spread kindness, but without its missing parts, it couldn't fulfill its purpose. Their first clue led them to the nearby town, where they heard about a mysterious object that had fallen into the river. Emma and the robot worked together to retrieve it, a small glowing crystal that fit perfectly into the robot's chest. As they continued their journey, they faced many challenges. The broken bridge. They helped a group of villagers repair a bridge, earning their gratitude and a clue to the next missing part. The puzzle box. They solved a tricky puzzle to open a box containing a tiny gear. The forest maze. They navigated a dense forest, using the robot's glowing eyes to light their way. Through each challenge, Emma and the robot grew closer, learning to trust and rely on each other. Their final clue led them to an old abandoned factory on the edge of town. Inside, they found the last missing part, a small glowing orb that powered the robot's heart. As the robot inserted the orb, its body began to glow brightly.
Thank you, Emma.
It said.
You've not only fixed me, but also shown me the true meaning of kindness.
The robot explained that it had been sent to Earth to teach people about compassion and teamwork. Emma realized that their adventure had already spread kindness. Through the villagers they helped, the puzzles they solved, and the friendship they built. Emma and the robot returned home, knowing they had made a difference. The robot decided to stay with Emma, helping her with her inventions and continuing its mission to spread kindness. Every evening they would sit in the backyard, watching the stars and dreaming of new adventures. Emma knew that with her tiny robot by her side, anything was possible.
Mimo led his grandchildren into the magical woods, his long white hair shimmering in the sunlight. Mimelo, Mimella, and Mimino skipped alongside him, their laughter echoing joyously.
Look at the trees, my dear ones. They hold stories older than time,
Mimo said, his voice rich with warmth. Elfie, a wise old elf with twinkling eyes, greeted them warmly.
Welcome, friends. Today we celebrate unity and joy,
he declared. The gnomes, with their bushy beards and cheerful faces, brought forth baskets of delicious fruits, while the fairies fluttered around, spreading sparkles of magic. Nomi strummed his lute, a gentle melody filling the air. Fate, a graceful fairy with wings like stained glass, joined in with her flute, her notes weaving through the trees like a mystical breeze.
Let's sing our hearts out for a world of peace,
Mimelo exclaimed, his voice carrying hope. Mimella twirled gracefully, her dress a blur of colors, as Mimino clapped along, his feet tapping in time.
This is a world where everyone belongs,
he shouted with joy, his laughter infectious. The elves and gnomes joined in, their movements synchronized in a dance celebrating friendship and love.
In this world, we cherish each other.
Fate spoke softly, her eyes reflecting the tranquility of the brook. Mimo nodded, gazing at his grandchildren with pride.
Remember, my dear ones, the strength of kindness and the power of unity,
he advised. Elfie raised a hand, a solemn vow in his voice.
We will always stand together, creating a world of compassion and joy,
he declared. The children echoed his words, their hearts full of hope. With the stars beginning to twinkle above, They knew this was just the beginning of their enchanted journey.
Ezra sat cross-legged on the cool, mossy ground, entranced by the sight of ants marching in a perfect line. Their tiny world was a source of endless fascination to him, far removed from the chaos of the human world. Here he felt safe and understood, like a single note in a grand symphony. Curiosity piqued, Ezra followed the luminescent trail, his footsteps soft against the forest floor. As he ventured further, the path opened into an enchanting glade, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. There, fluttering gently above a cluster of wildflowers, was a butterfly unlike any he had seen before. Luna the butterfly landed gracefully on a nearby leaf. To Ezra's astonishment, she spoke, her voice as soft as the breeze.
"Welcome, Ezra. I've been waiting for you,"
she said, her words weaving a spell of wonder around him. Ezra felt an immediate connection with Luna. She spoke of the forest's secrets and the creatures that called it home.
"You see, Ezra, the world is vast and full of wonders. Your place in it is special, just like mine,"
Luna assured him. Together they embarked on whimsical adventures, chasing moonbeams and listening to the stories of ancient trees. Each moment spent with Luna was a lesson in embracing his uniqueness and finding strength in the connections with the world around him. Ezra realized that his differences were not a burden, but a part of the beauty of life.
"Remember, Ezra, you are never alone. The world is always here for you,"
Luna whispered as she took flight, leaving a trail of shimmering light. With a newfound sense of belonging, Ezra returned home, his heart full of the magic of the forest and the friendship of a tiny butterfly who had taught him to see the world through the eyes of wonder.
Shriyan stirred awake, rubbing his eyes with the back of his tiny hand. He sprang out of bed, eager to begin his day.
"Good morning, Mommy,"
he chirped, skipping into the living room where Mommy sat sipping her coffee. She smiled warmly, watching him reach for his toothbrush. Shriyan climbed onto the sofa, clutching his chocolate shake with both hands. He took a long sip, savoring the rich, sweet taste.
"Did you sleep well, sweetheart?"
Mommy asked, brushing a stray lock of hair from his forehead.
"Yes, and I'm ready for school,"
he replied, his eyes sparkling with excitement. With his backpack securely fastened, Shriyan bounded outside where Daddy was already waiting.
"Ready for another fun day?"
he inquired, ruffling Shriyan's hair.
"Yes, Daddy, I can't wait to see my friends,"
he responded, bouncing on his toes as the yellow school bus rounded the corner. In the classroom, Shriyan eagerly read aloud, his voice clear and confident. Later, he giggled as he scribbled in his notebook, his friends joining in the fun. Lunchtime was a grand adventure with sandwiches traded and stories shared.
"Let's play tag after lunch,"
he suggested, his friends nodding in agreement. The bus doors swung open and Shriyan bounded down the steps, spotting Granny and his baby sister Rithanya waiting with open arms.
"Welcome home, dear,"
Granny exclaimed, enveloping him in a warm hug. Rithanya gurgled happily, reaching out with tiny hands. Shriyan nestled beside Granny, his eyes growing heavy with sleep. Mommy and Daddy exchanged smiles, watching their little boy drift into dreams.
"Today was the best day ever,"
he murmured, his voice barely a whisper as he succumbed to slumber, surrounded by the love of his family.
In the heart of this vibrant forest lived a small squirrel named Natty. Her fur was a soft blend of browns and grays, and her eyes sparkled with curiosity. Despite her size, Natty was known for her agility and quick wit. As she gathered acorns, she overheard a chorus of anxious chirps from the treetops. Natty scampered over to the gathering, her heart pounding with both fear and determination. The wise old owl, perched solemnly on a branch, observed the scene with grave concern.
The river is rising quickly, and the dam is about to give way.
The owl hooted urgently. Beaver, known for his engineering skills, shook his head worriedly.
We need someone small to fix the dam from the inside. It's too dangerous for the larger animals,
he said with a sigh. Natty's tiny heart drummed in her chest, each beat echoing her growing resolve.
I can do it,
she squeaked, stepping forward. Her voice, though small, was filled with courage. The other animals exchanged doubtful glances, their skepticism evident.
Are you sure, Natty? It's a big task for someone so small,
Beaver asked, concern etched on his face. With nimble paws, Natty gathered twigs and leaves, weaving them expertly into the weakened crevices of the dam. The water splashed around her, but she remained focused, her determination unwavering. Each piece she placed seemed to strengthen the structure, bit by bit. Finally, with one last crucial twig, the dam held firm. The water receded slightly, and a cheer erupted from the animals watching from the safety of the trees. Natty had done it. She had saved the forest. The animals lifted Natty onto their shoulders, their voices a chorus of gratitude. Old Owl nodded approvingly from his perch.
You may be small, Natty, but your heart is as big as the forest,
he proclaimed. From that day on, Natty was known as the bravest squirrel in the forest, a testament to the great things even the smallest among us can achieve.
Mimo, a wise old man with flowing white hair, stood at the edge of a clearing, surrounded by his lively grandchildren. Mimino was a bundle of energy, always seeking adventure. Mimina had a gentle soul and a heart full of compassion. Little Mamilo Jr. was the youngest, with a curiosity that knew no bounds.
Today, my dear ones, we embark on a special journey,
Mimo said, his voice resonating with warmth and wisdom. Eldrin, a joyful elf, greeted them with a twinkle in his eye. Orin, a clever gnome, adjusted his tiny spectacles as he joined the group. Together, they were a diverse band, united by a common purpose.
Let's sing for the forest today and remind it of our love,
declared Eldrin.
Grandpa, can the forest really hear us?
Asked Mimino, his eyes wide with wonder.
Indeed it can, dear one. Our songs carry the power to heal and bring change,
replied Mimo with a smile. Mimina began to sing, her voice like a soothing river, while Mamilo Jr. clapped along with delight. The forest seemed to breathe with them, resonating with their wishes for peace and unity.
We sing for a world where love and kindness reign,
Mimina declared, her eyes shining with hope.
Our voices are stronger together,
said Orin, adjusting his spectacles with a satisfied nod. Each note carried their dream of a world without pollution, without war, and filled with compassion for all living beings.
Remember, my dear ones, the forest is alive in us, and we in it,
he whispered. The children nodded, their hearts full of the magic they had created together. They knew that their journey was just beginning, and that their voices would continue to sing for a better world.
Brayden was a bundle of energy, his eyes gleaming with excitement as he crouched low in the backyard, a plastic shovel in hand. He was convinced that treasure was hidden beneath the garden gnomes, a tale spun by his dad Dylan during bedtime stories. Nearby, the two family dogs wagged their tails, sensing an adventure.
Come on, let's find the treasure,
Brayden exclaimed, digging fervently. Suddenly, a butterfly flitted by, catching the attention of the dogs. With a yip, they bounded after it, knocking over a potted plant and sending dirt flying. Brayden giggled, a mischievous glint in his eyes, as Shelley, his stepmom, stepped out onto the porch, arms crossed, but a smile tugging at her lips.
Brayden, what have you done now?
She asked, feigning sternness.
We're on a treasure hunt, Shelley.
Brayden replied, gesturing dramatically to the chaos around him. As Brayden continued his excavation, his shovel struck something hard. Pushing aside the dirt, he uncovered a curious stone glowing with a faint blue light. Intrigued, he reached out, touching it gently. The ground beneath him trembled, and with a gasp, he watched as a swirling portal opened up before him.
Brayden, step back.
Dylan called from the porch, rushing over to his son. Ignoring his father's warning, Brayden took a daring step forward, feeling a rush of wind pull him and the dogs into the vortex. The world spun around him, colors blending into a kaleidoscope of wonder. As they landed with a soft thud, Brayden found himself in a lush forest, the air filled with the scent of wildflowers.
Wow, this is amazing.
Brayden marveled, glancing around in awe. In the heart of the forest, they met a whimsical creature, a small fae with wings like stained glass. The fae introduced itself as Lyra, the guardian of the forest, and explained that the stone Brayden found was a gateway to a land of magic.
You must return the stone to its rightful place.
Lyra explained, her voice melodic and soothing.
Can we explore first?
Brayden asked, his adventurous spirit undeterred. After a delightful adventure through the forest, Brayden and his dogs returned home through the portal, the stone safely back in its place. Dylan and Shelley were waiting, relief mingling with laughter as Brayden recounted his escapade, eyes alight with tales of magic and fantasy.
Next time, maybe let us join in the adventure,
Shelley suggested, ruffling Brayden's hair affectionately.
Deal.
Brayden agreed, already dreaming of the next treasure hunt.
Rusty revved his engine gently, a soft purr of anticipation. Lily, his owner, skipped out of the house, her backpack bouncing with every step.
Are you ready for an adventure, Rusty?
She chirped, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Rusty honked happily in response, eager to hit the road. Rusty zoomed along the highway, the wind rushing past like a whisper of freedom. The world was a blur of greens and blues, punctuated by the vibrant colours of wildflowers nodding at the roadside. Lily giggled, leaning out the window to feel the wind on her face.
Look at those flowers, Rusty. Aren't they beautiful?
Sammy, the seagull, fluffed his feathers, tilting his head curiously at Lily.
Hello there,
he squawked, his voice cheerful and bright. Lily laughed in delight.
Hi, Sammy. Are you here to join our adventure?
Rusty honked in agreement, thrilled to have a new companion. Sammy fluttered his wings, gesturing to the shells scattered across the beach.
I know where the prettiest shells are,
he chirped. Lily clapped her hands.
Let's find them, Rusty,
she exclaimed, leading Rusty closer to the shore. Rusty watched as Lily and Sammy danced along the shoreline, their laughter mingling with the ocean's song.
These are the moments that matter,
he thought, feeling the warmth of the sun and his friend's happiness. Lily settled into Rusty's seat, her pockets filled with the day's treasures.
Thank you, Rusty.
And thank you, Sammy. Today was perfect.
She sighed contentedly. Sammy gave a final wave before taking off into the twilight sky, promising to meet again. As they drove back, Rusty reflected on the journey, realizing that the true joy of adventure lies in the company of good friends and the memories made along the way.
Bone, a playful little lemur bone with a polished, smooth surface and whimsical, playful features, lay nestled amidst the undergrowth. His mischievous spirit defied the natural order, much like his origin from a young calf. Scruffy, a lean and agile dog with bright, eager eyes, peered through the foliage. His energetic and determined spirit was set on Bone, believing catching him would make him strong.
"You'll never catch me, Scruffy,"
teased Bone as he rolled away, his polished surface gleaming in the sunlight. Scruffy chased after Bone with all his might, leaping over roots and dodging branches. His heart pounded with both excitement and frustration as Bone's laughter echoed around him.
Too slow,
Bone called back, rolling just out of reach once more. Scruffy had grown a bit taller, though his frame remained lean. He wandered the jungle, his mind often drifting back to Bone and the chase that never seemed to end. One day, while exploring a sunlit patch of earth, Scruffy stumbled upon a curious sight. There, amidst the soil, was Bone, partially buried and covered in dirt, transformed into something unexpected, a large, vibrant lettuce plant.
Bone? Is that you?
Scruffy marveled, unable to comprehend the transformation. Millie, a wise old monkey with a plump, sturdy frame and a gentle smile, known for her gardening skills, appeared beside Scruffy. She chuckled softly, her wise and gentle smile twinkling with understanding.
"Ah, young Scruffy,"
she said.
"Sometimes things grow in ways we don't expect. Bone has become nourishment for the earth, and now he thrives in a new form."
Scruffy stared at the lettuce, a mix of wonder and realization washing over him. Scruffy nodded slowly, understanding that the chase was over, but the lesson was clear. Growth came in many forms, and sometimes the journey itself was the reward.
"Millie, will you help me learn to grow like Bone?"
Scruffy asked, his voice filled with newfound determination. Millie smiled, placing a reassuring hand on Scruffy's shoulder. Together they set to work, planting seeds and nurturing the earth, ready to embrace the unexpected paths of growth and transformation.
Rusty revved his engine gently, a soft purr of anticipation. Lily, his owner, skipped out of the house, her backpack bouncing with every step.
"Are you ready for an adventure, Rusty?"
she chirped, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Rusty honked happily in response, eager to hit the road. Rusty zoomed along the highway, the wind rushing past like a whisper of freedom. The world was a blur of greens and blues, punctuated by the vibrant colours of wildflowers nodding at the roadside. Lily giggled, leaning out the window to feel the wind on her face.
"Look at those flowers, Rusty. Aren't they beautiful?"
Sammy, the seagull, fluffed his feathers, tilting his head curiously at Lily.
"Hello there,"
he squawked, his voice cheerful and bright. Lily laughed in delight.
"Hi, Sammy. Are you here to join our adventure?"
Rusty honked in agreement, thrilled to have a new companion. Sammy fluttered his wings, gesturing to the shells scattered across the beach.
"I know where the prettiest shells are,"
he chirped. Lily clapped her hands.
"Let's find them, Rusty!"
she exclaimed, leading Rusty closer to the shore. Rusty watched as Lily and Sammy danced along the shoreline, their laughter mingling with the ocean's song.
These are the moments that matter,
he thought, feeling the warmth of the sun and his friend's happiness. Lily settled into Rusty's seat, her pockets filled with the day's treasures.
Thank you, Rusty. And thank you, Sammy. Today was perfect.
She sighed contentedly. Sammy gave a final wave before taking off into the twilight sky, promising to meet again. As they drove back, Rusty reflected on the journey, realizing that the true joy of adventure lies in the company of good friends and the memories made along.
Leo lay in his bed, his eyes fluttering shut as he drifted into a dream. The walls of his room faded away, replaced by the endless expanse of the universe. Stars twinkled like scattered diamonds, and galaxies swirled in vibrant hues. Leo marveled at the beauty surrounding him. "Wow, it's even more beautiful than I imagined," he whispered in awe, reaching out to touch the stardust that danced around his fingertips. Panic surged through Leo's chest. He watched helplessly as the planet fractured, pieces drifting away into the void. "I have to do something," he thought, determination replacing his fear. Leo realized the power within him, a connection to the universe itself. "I can restore the balance," he declared, his voice filled with newfound confidence. He could feel the planet's heartbeat, steadying as harmony was restored. "Hold on, Earth, you're safe now," Leo reassured, his heart swelling with pride and relief. Leo smiled, knowing that even in his dreams he had the power to make a difference. "One day I'll help protect our world for real," he promised, feeling the lingering magic of the universe within him.
In the heart of a sunlit meadow, Hello Kitty sat amidst a circle of daisies, her eyes sparkling with excitement.
"Today is perfect for an adventure,"
she declared, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Nearby, My Melody adjusted her pink bonnet, eager to hear more. Karapi, the energetic frog, hopped closer, curious about what Hello Kitty had in mind. Bats Maru, with his mischievous grin, leaned against a tree, pretending to be nonchalant. Hello Kitty unfolded an old map, its edges frayed with age.
"We're going to explore the rainbow forest and find the legendary starlight flower,"
she announced, pointing to a spot marked with a tiny star. My Melody clapped her hands in delight.
"I've heard it grants wishes."
Karapi croaked with enthusiasm.
"Let's hop to it!"
Even Bats Maru couldn't hide his interest.
"I bet I can find it first,"
he challenged. The friends set off, laughter echoing through the forest as sunlight danced between leaves. Hello Kitty led the way, her steady steps guided by the map. My Melody skipped along, humming a cheerful tune. Karapi bounded ahead, stopping occasionally to inspect curious mushrooms. Bats Maru trailed behind, pretending to be uninterested but secretly intrigued by the adventure. Their path led them to a bubbling brook, where smooth stones formed a natural bridge. Hello Kitty balanced carefully as My Melody followed suit. Karapi, ever the jumper, leaped across with ease. Bats Maru paused, considering the best route.
"Watch me fly,"
he declared, making a daring hop from one stone to the next. The friends cheered, their camaraderie growing with each playful challenge. As twilight descended, the group reached a clearing bathed in the soft glow of starlight. There, nestled among the grass, was the starlight flower, its petals shimmering with a magical luminescence. Hello Kitty gasped in awe.
"It's even more beautiful than I imagined,"
she whispered. My Melody knelt beside it, her eyes wide with wonder, while Karapi marveled at the enchanting sight. Gathered around the starlight flower, the friends felt a warm glow in their hearts, realizing that the true magic lay in their friendship. Bats Maru, breaking his usual cool demeanor, admitted,
"I guess this adventure wasn't so bad after all."
Hello Kitty smiled.
"The best adventures are those we share with friends,"
she said. Beneath the twinkling stars, they made a pact to seek out more adventures together.
In a darkened chamber lined with relics from Christmases past, Santa sat tied to a chair, his eyes scanning the room for any means of escape. The faint red and green blinking lights cast a festive yet foreboding glow. Desperate, he transmitted a static-filled voice message.
Ho! Ho! Help! This is Santa! I've been kidnapped! They've taken me to a secret location, somewhere called 8898. I can't surface until I find all the numbers. I'm sending out this SOS to all Golden Matrix family members and all who can hear me. If you're out there, I need your help. Urgently.
The transmission crackled with static, and the sound of jingle bells faded ominously. The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the room silent except for the faint hum of Santa's signal, repeating the cryptic numbers. 8898. Santa, his heart heavy with the weight of the world's Christmas hopes, thought of the joy of giving and the warmth shared with his elves back at the North Pole. He knew time was running out, and the countdown to save Christmas had begun. In a cozy room halfway across the globe, Max, a bright-eyed young boy with an insatiable curiosity for technology, received a distress signal on his custom-built radio scanner. His room was a sanctuary of blinking gadgets and glowing screens.
This is it, the adventure I've been waiting for,
he exclaimed, determination setting his eyes alight. Max knew he had to help Santa by deciphering the mysterious numbers. Max pored over maps and codes, his fingers dancing over the keyboard as he searched for meaning behind 98. He remembered stories of ancient Christmas lore, tales of numbers hidden within forgotten traditions.
I've got to find the pattern,
he muttered to himself, glancing at the clock as it ticked closer to midnight on Christmas Eve. As Max unraveled each clue, his journey took him on a whirlwind adventure across continents. From the snow-covered Alps to the bustling streets of Tokyo, he gathered pieces of an ancient puzzle, each fragment a key to Santa's location. The world became his playground, each landmark a stepping stone towards saving Christmas. With the final clue in hand, Max arrived at a majestic Christmas tree in a bustling square. The twinkling lights danced in rhythm with his heartbeat.
This is it,
he whispered, entering the numbers into his device. A portal of light shimmered before him, revealing the hidden chamber where Santa was held captive. Bursting through the portal, Max and Santa were greeted by the joyous cheers of elves, their eyes twinkling with gratitude. Santa, free at last, embraced Max.
Thank you, dear boy. You've saved Christmas.
The spirit of the season filled the air as the last jingle bell rang, heralding the dawn of a miraculous Christmas day.
A shadowy room, the air was thick with the tension of blinking red and green lights, casting an eerie glow. Santa's voice crackled through the static, filled with desperation.
Ho! Ho! Help! This is Santa! I've been kidnapped! They've taken me to a secret location, somewhere called 8898. I can't surface until I find all the numbers. I'm sending out this SOS to all Golden Matrix family members, superheroes, and all who can hear me. If you're out there, I need your help. Urgently.
The plea hung in the air, a haunting echo of jingling bells fading into silence. As the transmission cut off, a resolute group gathered under the night sky. The Golden Matrix family, alongside an array of superheroes, stood united. Their determination was palpable, faces set against the chilling reality that Christmas was in peril. Captain Valor, a fearless leader clad in gleaming armor, addressed the assembly.
We must decipher the mystery of 8898 and rescue Santa before it's too late. Christmas needs us.
The team dispersed into the sprawling city, its streets illuminated by flickering streetlights. The urgency to decode the cryptic numbers 8898 fueled their every step. Elektra, a tech-savvy superheroine with electric blue hair, tapped furiously on her portable device, analyzing data streams.
These numbers might be coordinates, or a code,
she mused, her eyes scanning for patterns. Their journey led them to an abandoned warehouse, its structure swallowed by shadows. The air was thick with suspense as they entered, wary of lurking dangers. Shadow Fox, a master of stealth, whispered through the darkness.
Stay alert. We might not be alone.
Every creak of the floorboards and rustle of the wind heightened the tension, reminding them of the stakes at hand. Inside the warehouse, Gizmo, a young prodigy with a knack for puzzles, pieced together the mystery.
I've got it. 8898 is a cipher. It's guiding us to Santa's location,
he exclaimed, a triumphant beam lighting up his face. As the team rallied around him, hope surged anew, their path clear. Guided by the deciphered code, the heroes found themselves in a hidden chamber beneath the city. There, amidst the blinking lights, stood Santa, his eyes twinkling with relief and gratitude.
You did it! You found me!
He cheered, enveloping the team in a warm embrace. The room resonated with joy, the spirit of Christmas rekindled by their...
Little Santa was a tiny elf with twinkling eyes and an endless spirit. He watched the bigger elves prepare for the grand Christmas Eve, his heart swelling with determination.
I can do it too.
He whispered to himself, dreaming of delivering gifts on his own. Little Santa set out to prove his worth, and as he wandered through the snowy fields, he stumbled upon a mischievous snowman, Frosty. Frosty had a carrot nose askew and a twinkle of mischief in his charcoal eyes.
Looking for an adventure, little friend?
He asked with a grin. Gathering around the fire, little Santa shared his plan with Frosty.
I want to deliver gifts all by myself,
he declared, eyes shining with determination.
Let's make it a magical adventure,
Frosty replied, his voice full of excitement. Little Santa and Frosty embarked on their journey, the night air crisp and filled with the sound of crunching snow beneath their feet. The stars twinkled overhead, guiding their way.
This will be a night to remember.
Frosty chuckled, his laughter echoing through the frosty air. As they crossed a precarious icy bridge, little Santa's courage was tested.
I can do this,
he murmured, inching forward with Frosty by his side. Together they navigated the slippery path, their friendship strengthening with each step. Finally, they reached a small village, its houses aglow with festive lights. Little Santa felt a swell of pride as he delivered gifts, each package bringing joy to the sleeping children.
We did it,
Frosty said, a smile stretching across his snowy face. As dawn broke, little Santa and Frosty returned to the North Pole, their hearts filled with the spirit of Christmas.
This is just the beginning,
he declared, knowing that with each new adventure, the magic of the season would only grow stronger.
Santa Claus stood amidst the whirl of snowflakes, his rosy cheeks beaming with excitement as he supervised the final preparations for his annual journey. The workshop was alive with the laughter of elves and the hum of machinery. Everywhere he looked, there were toys waiting to be packed into his sleigh. Jingle, the most mischievous elf in all of Santa's workshop, had a twinkle in his eye as he watched Santa searching for his favorite toy, a beautifully carved wooden train.
"Oh, where could it have gone?"
murmured Santa, his brow furrowing with concern.
Perhaps you need a bit of imagination to find it, dear Santa,
teased Jingle, his voice light and teasing, yet filled with an air of mystery. The seconds seemed to tick away faster than the falling snowflakes, and Santa knew he had to act swiftly. Santa, known for his wisdom and kindness, decided to embrace the challenge.
"Let's see if I can outsmart you, Jingle,"
he chuckled, his eyes twinkling like the stars above. With a wave of his hand, he summoned the elves to join him, their lanterns casting whimsical glows across the snow-dusted workshop. As the elves scurried around, peeking into hidden nooks and crannies, Santa paused to reflect. He gazed at a pile of freshly wrapped gifts and imagined a world where children's laughter echoed with joy.
"Aha!"
he exclaimed,
a thought dawning upon him. He reached behind a stack of colorful presents and pulled out the missing train, perfectly placed where an imaginative mind would hide it. Santa turned to Jingle, who was grinning widely.
You gave me quite the puzzle, Jingle,
he said, laughter rumbling like gentle thunder.
Next year, perhaps I'll make it even trickier,
replied Jingle with a wink, as the sleigh bells tinkled merrily and the reindeer pawed the ground in anticipation. Santa climbed aboard, ready to spread joy across